These are the best keto chips that we've ever had, and unfortunately you can't buy them. But they're super easy to make, and in this video we're gonna show you how. And if you're new here, my name's Emily and my twin sister Sarah is behind the camera, and we have lost 160 pounds following a ketogenic lifestyle since 2019. And on this channel, we love trying and testing recipes for all of you. So this chip recipe is something that Sarah and I have been experimenting on for over a year. We tried it way back in 2021, I think. We tried it many moon ago, and it was a recipe by perspectiveportions.com, and it was for cottage cheese chips. We totally thought it was weird. We did not think it was gonna work. She was cooking them in a pan and creating very thin, crispy cottage cheese chips that resembled a Lay's potato chip. And so we tried it, and we kind of failed at it, and I almost burnt my fingers off. Ow. We did a lot of other iterations of this recipe throughout the next year and a half, and we added things and took things away. And we finally feel like we have created the ultimate keto-friendly chip. One serving of this should have about 3 net carbs. And we started adding a little bit of a secret ingredient into these chips. Mashed potato flakes. These are instant mashed potato flakes, and we know that a lot of the keto police out there are gonna be upset that we're putting these in our chips, but it makes it taste like potato chips and it makes it thicker. And Sarah just came up with this out of the blue. It's like she woke up one day and was like, mashed potato flake. Right, why aren't we adding that? Originally, she figured that adding mashed potato flakes would just make it so high in carbs that it wouldn't be worth it. But in this video, we have lowered the amount of mashed potato flakes that we're adding in here so you can get a similar result, bring down that carb count, and have it be like a really thin Lay's potato chip. And a lot of you guys didn't want to use the microwave, which is how we typically cook our chips. The microwave is daunting, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of power, and you can only cook like 10 chips at a time. So Sarah and I set out on a mission to try to figure out how to cook these chips in the oven. And that is what we are going to show you today. Also, throughout this video, we're going to be answering your most frequently asked questions about these chips so that you can make these chips successfully, because some of you guys have been having issues. Step number 1, you're going to preheat your oven to 275 degrees. Step number 2, you are going to line a baking tray with a silicone mat or parchment paper. Question, is there a difference between silicone mat and parchment paper? Answer, we have not found a difference. You can use either. This should make about 80 chips. You are going to need 1 cup of blended Daisy cottage cheese or any cottage cheese. Question, do I need to use a specific type of cottage cheese to get these to work? And the answer is yes. If you are adding in the potato flakes, then you can use whatever kind of cottage cheese that you want, because the addition of the potato flake acts as a stabilizer in your chips. But if you are deciding to forego the addition of the mashed potato flakes, which is a mistake in our opinion because it adds texture, it adds flavor, you have to use a cottage cheese with a stabilizer in it. That's the kind of dirty cottage cheese. It's Trader Joe's cottage cheese. It's Amazon brand cottage cheese. It has something in it like carrageenan or some kind of stabilizer. So if you use a little bit of potato flake in there, you can get away with using organic cottage cheese with no additives, regardless of the brand. Back to what you need. 1 cup of blended cottage cheese and mashed potato flakes. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. That's it. That's all you need for these chips. Next up, you're going to blend your cottage cheese with a blender, or if you want to make it easier, an immersion stick blender. This is so much easier because when you're blending a small quantity of the cottage cheese, it's easier to do because you're going to stick this in your vessel and blend it that way. If you use a traditional blender, it's going to be more difficult because you're going to be scraping down the sides constantly. We can link this one in the description below. Frequently asked question, do I need to blend my cottage cheese? And the answer is, it depends. If you're cooking these in the microwave, you don't need to blend it. But if you're cooking them in the oven, like we're gonna show you how to do today, you do need to blend it because the power of the oven and the power of the microwave are different and it just does not work. So we are gonna add 1 cup of the blended cottage cheese to a bowl. And into that, we are going to add in 1/2 tablespoon of instant mashed potatoes. Originally, we added 1 tablespoon to the recipe, but after experimenting, we have figured out that you can use 1/2 tablespoon per 1 cup and still get it to work. This is gonna bring down that carb count a lot. Sprinkle it around. Remember, this is gonna absorb a lot of the moisture. Do they have such thing as sweet potato flakes? No. I don't think so. So remember that these potato flakes are dehydrated, so you're gonna wanna let this sit for about 5 minutes so everything has the chance to like rehydrate, moisturize. We're gonna be able to start forming our chips on top of our sill mat. We're gonna take 1/2 teaspoon measurement and start placing it on our sill mat. You can use the back of the spoon and kind of even it out. You want them to be kind of uniform in size so they cook evenly. Here we have our chips. They're ready to go in the oven. We have our oven preheated to 275 degrees and we are gonna be cooking these for about 30 minutes. Your oven may differ. Your temperature may differ. Your elevation may differ. I have no idea how that all works. You should probably start checking this at about 25 minutes to see if it's done.
Take a peeky poo. They're getting brown.
There we go.
27 minutes. This helps release the chips when you put them on a cold surface. They start contracting.
Except for this one, I have my doubts. You wanna try? No? You don't want to? I make a whole channel about you. This has been a long journey for us to get to this point. Here are the chips that we made today. These are the original chips that we cook in the microwave. As you can see, there is a difference between the two. These have holes in them.
They're also thicker.
They're also thicker, right. So I'll give you the nutritional facts on these chips. We calculated this out and 1/2 tablespoon of the instant mash has 1.75 net carbs. We used 1/2 tablespoon in 1 cup of cottage cheese. 1 cup of cottage cheese has 10 net carbs. So 10 net carbs plus 1.75 net carbs, let's call it 12. 12 net carbs per 1 cup of the mixture. Are you with me? I'm not even with me at this point. We calculated that you can make at least 80 with 1 cup of the mixture. And we guesstimate that the serving size is about 20 chips. So 20 chips is about 3 net carbs. That is pretty good. So we decided to do this video because so many of you guys said that you didn't want to cook it in the microwave. So we cooked it in the oven. But then we figured maybe we should cut down the amount of instant mash in the recipe to try to bring down that carb count. But I know that a lot of you are going to be thinking or asking in your mind, does it affect the taste? Does it affect the texture? And the answer, of course, is yes. If you want it to be super potatoey, if you want it to be thicker, then go ahead and use 1 tablespoon of instant mash per 1 cup of the blended mixture. And you're gonna get something that's twice as thick and twice as potatoey.
It also has some more carbs.
Yeah, it has some more carbs in it. It's a minimal difference. At the end of the day, if you're spreading it amongst 80 chips, I couldn't even tell you. All I do know is that if you want something that tastes more like potatoes, that 1/2 of a tablespoon more of the mixture is not gonna really hurt you. We like to live this way, so we add stuff like this in all the time, but if you're super strict, you probably won't wanna make this at all. But there's nothing inherently wrong with potatoes. Potatoes taste really good.
And you really taste it in the chip.
Yeah.
At least I taste it.
Right.
A couple of months ago, we tested an egg white chip and it wasn't good. Many of you commented asking, could we include the mashed potato flake in that chip? And let me tell you, I didn't record it. I tried it and it was not good. So no, it doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work with egg whites. It just didn't. It tasted really odd. There are flavored instant mashed potato options out there if you guys are interested in trying them out. I tested one that has sour cream and cheddar mashed potato flakes, and it was super good. Like, you could really taste the cheddar and the potato. Those have more carbs in it, so you're going to have a couple more carbs per serving. 20 chips would be probably closer to like 4 or 5 carbs. This is just like a base recipe, and we hope that you guys will use it and experiment with it and let us know if you come up with any crazy combinations, because really this was a community effort. I feel like people in our group, Keto with the Keto Twins, they contributed a lot to this recipe, so we really want to thank them. And yeah, I'm really super happy with the way that they turned out. They go great with dip too. I think chips are one of those things that you really miss on keto, and I'm glad that I have a suitable option now. It just reminds me so much of the chips that I used to eat before keto, so. And my husband loves these too.
If you guys want to see a funny video that we love, you can watch this video right here. We blindfolded ourselves and tried top keto products. You can click right here and we will see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins, signing out. Dog approved.